Welcome to this tutorial on SQL for Data Analyst or SQL for Data Analyst. So in previous videos, we look at so many things, laying background for the course. So in this video, we're going to continue building on our previous knowledge. Okay, so in previous video, we have looked at different companies, some sample companies to have an idea of the volume of data that they have. We look at Amazon and Netflix, Verizon, Bank of America, and we went through all these. We also look at what is data analysis, steps involved in data analysis, who is a data analyst, and we are going to continue building on this. So we're going to look at types of data analysis. That's the focus for today. So having known who you are as a data analyst or what data analysis is, it will also be good for you to know types of data analysis that we have. Okay, like I promised at the beginning of this tutorial that I'm going to try my best to make this an end-to-end training, an end-to-end tutorial, so that for those who are interested in becoming a data analyst, you won't miss anything at all. So we are still on the first phase, which is going to cover the theoretical part of the course, SQL for data analyst. The second phase will be the hands-on, where we learn how to write structured query language, SQL. So for today, types of data analysis. There are three major types of data analysis. The first one is descriptive analysis, and that is the focus of this course. Descriptive analysis is carried out on data in order to tell a story about what has happened. It is carried out in order to come up with some statistical summary on the data that an organization have. And towards the end of this tutorial, I'm going to quickly show you what exactly I mean by that. If this also doesn't make complete sense to you at this point, it's still fine, you're okay. By the time we get to the hands-on session, where we actually have data sets that we are carrying out analysis on, all these would connect and all these will make sense to you. You'll be able to appreciate this part at that point when we get to the hands-on. So when you carry out a descriptive analysis, what does that mean? It means that you want to describe the data you have. You want to describe the data you are carrying out analysis on, so that you can draw conclusion. You see, before you analyze your data, the data is just there. It's just sitting there. Nobody is making any sense. Nobody is drawing any insight from the data. So the reason why you want to analyze that data is to be able to draw some insight from that data, to be able to connect the dots in that data, to be able to establish the relationship and possible trend that you can find from that data. So this will be presented to the management, to business management, as a report, whatever your finding is. However, when you are carrying out a descriptive analysis, you really can't tell any story about the future or about an event that has not happened. You can only tell a story about an event that has already happened, because you are looking at an historical data stored in the database. Whatever I say now you don't understand, we're going to get there. We're still going to look at other tutorials that will cover what are databases and stuff that you need to know before the hands-on. But what I want you to take out from this tutorial is that the focus of this course, which is SQL for data analysis, is going to be based on descriptive analysis, analyzing our historical data in order to draw conclusion or form hypothesis, but not for the future. The scope of this course does not cover that. We are only limited to providing insight on historical data, data that we already have, transactions that have already happened. Say, for instance, Amazon is carrying out descriptive analysis. You work in Amazon and you work as an analyst, to use SQL. You can write structured query language. When you query the database, you want to see stuff like what was the amount of sales we made yesterday as a company. So it means that the sales have been made, but nobody has access to the database to say it on top of his or her head that, oh, we made a $10 million worth of sales yesterday. So you, as a data analyst, because you have access to the database and you can write SQL, so you write your query to say, so how much did we make yesterday on sales? You see, you are telling a story without data, but it's about what has happened. It's not about what will happen. Okay, you can also check to see how many products did we sell yesterday, or how many products did we sell from 2010 till date as a company. So my point is not whatever statistical summary you are able to come up with by analyzing the data is not about the future. It's about what has already happened. I can query my database because I want to see how many of the products we sold were returned. How many products did we sell between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. 3 days ago? Is always about what has already happened. You are trying to make sense, you are trying to draw insight from what has happened so you can present that as a report to the management. I can query a financial table, maybe to get profit or profit margin. How do I get profit? The sales has already been made. So the data already exists. I just want to tell a statistical summary using that data, and which is not possible if I don't know how to write SQL. So it does not tell you anything about the future. You might be able to see some patterns in the data as you're analyzing, but it's still strictly about what has already happened, transactions that have been made. Maybe you work in a bank, and as a data analyst, you're querying your database to see how many customers visited a branch at a particular location, how much deposit were brought to the bank yesterday, how much withdrawals were made yesterday. So you are carrying this out on historical data, what has already happened. You are not talking about the future. So that's what descriptive data analysis is all about. And to be able to do descriptive analysis, if you know SQL, you are fine. You are good to go. That's what you need. As long as all you want to do is to provide insight about the existing data of the company, all you need is SQL, and that's the focus of this course. You can also analyze data, carry out descriptive analysis using Excel spreadsheet to do that. So our focus is going to be on descriptive analysis, and we have other kind of data analysis as well. There are other data analysis, like I said, we have free. So let's also look at predictive analysis. The goal of this predictive analysis is to take descriptive analysis a step further. The reason why we are looking at this is I want your knowledge to be complete. Even though the focus of this tutorial is not predictive analysis or prescriptive analysis. It's still good for you to know so that you know the difference. And then you can work your way up, whatever you want to do. If you want to move on from being a descriptive analyst into being able to come up with predictive analytics, that's fine as well. So it's just for you to have a complete knowledge of the different types that we have. For predictive analysis, you are leveraging on your descriptive analysis and taking it a step further. This will be able, after drawing patterns, identifying patterns, gaining insight from your data, from your historical data and your current data, you are able to come up with some predictions about the future or some predictions about an unknown event. Okay, so what you are saying is, if we have 10,000 types of product now as a company, if we continue like this in the market, in the next 20 years, we're going to have maybe 20,000 types of product. You are able to say something based on your analysis, you are able to predict. And this is beyond, way beyond descriptive analysis, because it involves the use of different statistical techniques to do this. It's not just SQL. Yes, you can use SQL for data analysis, because even in predictive analysis, you first have to do your data analysis before you move into building a predictive model or building an algorithm that will be able to predict the future events or the trend of things in the future for an organization. So your SQL is still useful, but is one of the tools required for predictive analysis. It's not all you need to know. You need to know way more than SQL. So there are different tools, different technologies and skills you need to acquire in order to be able to do this. We have Python pandas, we have NumPy, Python NumPy, scikit-learn, matplotlib, we have Microsoft R, and many more. We have SAS. These are different tools that are used in predictive analysis. And whoever is interested in predictive analysis means that you are looking at the area of data science. The area of the data science combines um, data analysis with machine learning. And the machine learning is trying, it involves data mining, identifying patterns from data, and then leveraging on that to build an algorithm or a predictive model that can predict the trend of things in the future. Yeah. So this is out of scope for this tutorial. This tutorial is strictly for those who want to become a data analyst with SQL skill. Doing a predictive analysis is way beyond SQL or way beyond descriptive analysis. So it's taking descriptive analysis a step further, and you need a combination of different tools in order to predict what happens next. You need to know statistical techniques to use regression analysis and so many random forest. There are so many other algorithms that you need to know in order to do this. But the takeaway from here is that descriptive analysis, the one we looked at before this one, will only describe your data. So you can come up with summary statistics on your data. But predictive analysis would describe your data, will identify patterns in your data, and you will be able to use that to build a model, an algorithm that will predict the trend of things in the future. Maybe if we make this much profit today and we continue doing business like this, we're going to make much more profit in 2 years. Or maybe if we make this much profit today and we increase our line of product, our profit is going to drop in 2 years' time, or our profit is going to go up in 2 years' time. It tells you so many things based on your data that you have now, on the historical data and the current data, in order to predict the future. There you see predictive analysis also in, let's say you are on Amazon website, for instance, and you see that some some product have been suggested to you, that those who buy this also buy this. That's predictive analysis. They have analyzed your pattern of buying. They see what you buy usually on Amazon, and they kind of guess what you might want to buy next. So they suggest product to you. You say those who buy this product also buy this product. That's the area of predictive analysis. It comes under data science, machine learning. So it's beyond descriptive analysis, which is the focus of this lesson. And so we also need to look at the third one, which is the last one, prescriptive analysis. So, what is prescriptive analysis? This leverages on both descriptive analysis and predictive analysis in order to make recommendations. It recommends action, a follow-up action. So let's say you have done, after you have done your descriptive and your predictive analysis, and you need a way forward as to, okay, so now that we have identified trends and patterns in our data, what can we do to increase profit? What can we do? Do we need to create more product? Do we need to reduce the number of product we have? Do we need to hire more people? This is what prescriptive analysis will help in achieving for an organization. Based on that prediction, prescriptive analysis will be able to recommend actions, follow-up action, and say, okay, if you reduce out of the 20 product that you have, if you take out one or two product from the market, you can increase your profit margin by 10%. You see, that's a recommended action for an organization to take. Okay, based on these analysis and these predictions, if you want to remain relevant and competitive, make sure you hire five more people to do this for you. Or make sure you reduce your staff strength, the number of employees you have. It's just like recommending for you based on the prediction. So it helps you to take advantage of the predictions that have been made to make better decision. That's what prescriptive analysis is about. So prescriptive analysis, predictive analysis, they always go hand in hand, because after predicting, the same model, the same algorithm will be able to prescribe or recommend an action to be taken in order to take advantage of what has been predicted. So for these two, you need the same set of skill, the same technology understanding that you would need for predictive analysis. But for the focus of this course, which is just a descriptive analysis, SQL alone will be fine. If you know Excel, that will also help you as well. So I would like to quickly show you, talking about descriptive analysis, I would like to quickly show you something, so that you know human graphical object. We believe in whatever we see, it sticks more to our brain than theory. So I want to quickly show you. I know we are not here yet, but just to show you what I'm trying to say. So let's say I want to see what I have in this table. We have a table called human resources dot employee. So I want to see what I have in this table. So in this table I have all this data. Okay, job title, some are chief executive officer, vice president of engineering, engineering manager, senior tool designer, and we have birthday, we have marital status, we have gender, we have hire date. So this is employee table, okay, for an organization, which of course typically will show first name and last name and all other details about an employee. That's what we are looking at here. This is an example of data. Okay, so you as a data analyst carrying out descriptive analysis. So, like I said, you can come up with a statistical summary about this. So, what if I want to know the number of employees that are male? What can I do? This is an example of descriptive analysis. So I can say select star from human resources dot employee and say where gender equals male. So if I run this, you see now if you come to this gender column, all you see is male. All you have is male. There's no female. Okay, and here you see that we have 206 records. It means out of all the employees we have, 206 of them are males. If I change this to female and I run, so we have 84 records. This is showing 84 rows. So it means out of all the employees that we have, 84 of them are females. And if you come to this gender column, all you see is female. You see now that we are describing our data. That's what descriptive analysis helps you in achieving. It helps you describe your data in a meaningful way in order to satisfy business requirements. It provides statistical summary of the data that you have. It has nothing to do about the future. This data already exists, and we are only describing this data because we know how to write SQL. Don't worry, at this point, I don't expect you to understand this. And if you already understand this, like I said, this course is for beginners. This tutorial is for beginners. It's for those that don't have prior knowledge in data analysis with SQL. So this course will not be for you if you already know what we are doing. And this is bigger than this. I'm just showing you this in order to give you a comprehensive knowledge of what we'll be getting into in later tutorial. And this is an example of trying to summarize data, performing or carrying out descriptive analysis. So if I say I want to know the number of employees that we have in this database, you see it's showing 290. So we have 290 employees. So by doing this, I'm carrying out descriptive data analysis, okay? Telling stories, coming up with statistical summary from the data that the company has. Okay, and I can also do something like, okay, I want to count the number of employees. Give me the figure of the number of employees. So I can say select count counter select counter from human resources dot employee. So I want to know the total number of employees in this table. 290. We have 290. You see what I was saying about statistical summary. There are so many other things we can do, and that will come up in the second phase, which is the hands-on, where all we'll be doing in all the tutorials will be seeing a screen like this where we'll be writing queries. And so let me quickly recap before I go. Today in this tutorial we look at the different types of analysis that we have. Descriptive analysis, which provides statistical summary. We also look at predictive analysis, which leverages on descriptive analysis and also take it further by predicting future events, by predicting what happens next after identifying trends and patterns in historical data and current data. And we also look at prescriptive analysis as well. by by recommending actions as a follow-up to the predictions that have been made. Okay, maybe actions for an organization to launch another product in order to increase profit margin from 10% to maybe 15%, or maybe for an action for an organizations to employ more people, to hire more people, and so many other actions like that. So in the next tutorial, we'll be looking at what is data and types of data and the likes. So thank you